What up? It's RJ Fantasy Football Talk. You know what time it is. Another week, another story. This Rodney. What's going on, man? It's Jay. It's a big day, man. I see you
I
got
am
some news over
dancing.
there.
I am celebrating. Mission accomplished. The Raiders have won the Super Bowl this year, baby.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. It's over. I don't even care what
Okay.
happens. Look, they can lose every game. It would make me cry a little bit, but here's my
Yeah.
bold prediction already. I'm coming up. Bold predictions for the remainder of this season. The Raiders will win more games than they won up to this point already. It's a celebration. We got Queen here singing. We are the champions. We celebrating good times. It's a party. People is like
Okay.
Mardi Gras over here. So, I'm just
Oh, you
excited.
should have told me. I would have threw you some
Yeah,
bees over there.
get the Mardi Gras beats and everything ready. I'm a little bit
Hey.
excited, and I know you should be a little bit excited too, at least a little bit.
Yes, a little bit.
We'll talk trades and all the good
Yeah,
news,
a little
but
bit.
the story
Not
of
much.
stories is it's the Raiders season, baby.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Anyway,
I
that
mean,
I'm gonna talk about that the whole night, just so you know. I was telling
mean-
Rodney before the show started. I don't know anything about lineups. You can ask your questions. I'm gonna say I don't know. Josh McDaniels is fired. That's the only thing I know. That's the only thing I want to talk about. Josh McDaniels is gone out the door. Jimmy Garoppolo's been benched. This is just a
I
beautiful
mean,
day for Raider Nation.
I'm not mad at you.
I'm just
glad
excited.
you're happy.
Did I say I was excited? Because, baby, I'm excited. Welcome, Nita, to the show. Welcome, my mom, Orlando Lewis, to the show. Hello. We can talk some fantasy. How'd you do this week? I went 5-4, so I'm going to call that a good week. Beat you, by the way, but you already know that.
Man, I mean,
You know,
if
I
your
do.
quarterback would have threw Devontae Adams the football, I would have beat you. But
Look,
that's just,
the one good thing Jimmy Garoppolo did before, actually, no,
quarterback.
not really, because actually I have Devontae Adams in the league myself, and I lost when I could. I actually could have won a quarter again in my best ball league if he had thrown the ball to
He won't-
Devontae Adams just a couple of times. One pass
won't
for
do it.
11 yards.
I mean, he
terrible.
missed Devontae on a lot of wide open.
He would have had
passes.
2 easy touchdowns
Easy.
and at
He missed
least 120 yards if he could throw for anything.
them. I mean, look.
But
I
you
told
said it before. You said
I
you
told
know.
you.
You know.
I know how Jimmy worked, so I told you. I went through it for 5 years, and I know what time it is. So, look. I'm not. Look. I understand, brother.
Hey,
But look,
how'd you do though? How'd you do?
I went 4-2. I went
Hey,
4-2.
not bad.
Actually, I'm doing great this year in a bunch of leagues. It's just one league I'm not doing good in, but other than that, I'm sitting in second. I'm sitting in third. I'm sitting in first.
Mhm.
It's a bunch of these. So I'm there. I'm good. I'm back
Yeah.
to what I normally do. So I'm good.
After last year,
yeah,
you know,
last year,
little-
I'm back.
but you got your thing going.
Yeah.
I'm in first in a couple of leagues. Second, I think somewhere. I have 2 leagues that I'm just terrible in. 2 dynasty leagues. I can't win a game, but I ain't mad at it because I'm rebuilding. I'm in a rebuild, much like the Raiders.
Me too.
I already fired the coach.
Oh,
Got rid of the
yeah.
offensive coordinator. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna pull in Caleb Williams and make
Let's
this
see.
team better next year. So my dynasty league teams are terrible, but I ain't even worried because you know what? The Raiders fired Josh McDaniels, and that's again the only story that matters. What's up, Will Hayes? Good to have you as
Will.
part of the show. Glad you could join us again tonight. My mom's talking. She got her first win in the comedy club league so far. Yo, I'll talk about the narrowest of margins. So you got to look out for those stat corrections. But I think
Gotta look
she
out for
won
those
by
stat
like maybe
corrections.
half a point or something like
Oh,
that. It
that
was,
stat correction gonna hurt
I was
her.
like,
I'm sorry to tell you that, Mama Dukes.
well, maybe not. You can. Sometimes the stat corrections are your friend. I've had them increase my lead in some questions. So
That's playing
see where they
dangerous,
go.
though. That's playing dangerous. Boy. Woo, that's playing dangerous.
It wouldn't be the worst that you get your first win and they take it away off a stat correction.
They playing dangerous with that stuff. Boy.
But we're rooting for you. We're rooting for you to
Definitely.
come out a winner. Nita said she listened to the presser with Antonio Pierce. Yo, that's gonna be. I think that'd be good.
Is that the former linebacker from the Giants?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
That's the one.
He's the coach?
He's the interim coach. and we'll see how far it goes. The last time we had an interim coach, um, we pulled off a trip to the playoffs, and they should have kept him, but they
I
didn't.
didn't know that was
So.
him. That's big.
Yeah, that's
big for
huge.
him. I didn't know that.
And more than anything else, it's someone that the players can respect. And
Yeah.
it was obvious that they had no respect for Josh McDaniels. If they ever had any to begin with, it was gone. He destroyed that team emotionally and spiritually a year ago, and they've just been limping through since then. So they got somebody in there, and the one person that I know is going to be happy with it is my man Max Crosby, because Max Crosby is the Raider of Raiders, because he's the one who's been there through the years. He's the one who's seen them in the bad time, that one good time, and he's the vocal leader on that team, and so I know he's going to be happy with Antonio Pierce, and we'll see where it goes. And they point out, and Antonio Pierce in his first game as the interim coach goes against the Giants. So we're gonna see. And the good news doesn't stop. Who's gonna be the starter? Aiden O'Connell. Didn't I call it? I told you. I said Aiden O'Connell season. Hopefully he lives up to the hype.
Yeah. So I think you'll be all right. I actually think it's a good move. Speaking of, let's just let's jump into the news. To be honest with you, let's get into it. Because we got a lot to talk about today in the news.
Like the Raiders.
We're gonna leave the Raiders and the 49ers news for last.
Okay.
Obviously. But let's talk about.
Let's talk news. What you got?
A couple quarterbacks either losing their job or getting traded. What's wrong?
No, we good.
Okay. Desmond Ridder, he got benched today.
No, it's a health issue because he's going with a concussion.
Whatever, he got benched.
Like for the second week in a row, concussion. No, let me not put it in the air quotes. He's dealing with a concussion. Yes,
he got benched. Okay, whatever.
Tyler Heineke.
Tyler Heineke's in there.
He's gonna be the dude. Yeah.
Jimmy G got benched today.
And he got benched.
He got benched. We all know about Jimmy G though.
Yeah.
This one is kind of surprising a little bit. Well, let's talk about Josh Dobbs getting traded to the Vikings in place of obviously Kirk Cousins being hurt for the year. So he's not going to start right out the gate, but he's going to probably get in the game at some point this week. So definitely. And I've also got, I don't know if you know about this, but the Packers GM said they're unsure about Jordan Love, but he has 10 games to kind of show what he can do, and they probably going to move on from him. Mm-hmm. So we don't know. I'm hoping the best for Jordan Love, I think, at least. But what I can say about that is they gave him a shot to see how good he can be. Now, he got these next 10 games to prove if he can be their quarterback. If not, I guess they're going to – it's a good quarterback class coming up, so I guess they'll be in the market for a quarterback. So definitely we'll see. But what I want to talk about is Chase Young being traded to the 49ers.
I think that's probably the biggest trade. There's another defensive trade that was kind of interesting as well.
Yeah,
but the Chase Young one I think is the biggest one. What you got on it?
Now, I want to say this, though. I like the trade now, but I think what's going on here is I think they're trying to cover up for other problems that they have. I don't think that fixes the
other problems or specific problems.
Well, a problem that they have.
Right.
I don't think that is gonna fix the issue at hand, because getting a 6th or 7th defensive end to put on the line is not gonna help the fact that your quarterback is throwing interceptions and making poor decisions at the wrong time of each game of when you're trying to win the game. So at the end of the day, I think they're trying to cover up his mistakes, because if you think about the first 5 games of the year, we played with a lead. So pretty much he was just asked to not turn the ball over and hand the ball over. Well, hand the ball off to the running back or throw short passes, whatever. And we had good field position. And the defense put him in place of that because we really didn't play anybody. But these last 3 games show that he cannot be that guy to where you need him if the game is on the line. You can't tell him to go out there and win it. But you going to get Chase Young, it sounds fine, but I don't think it does much. I mean, that defensive line is probably getting paid like $60 million total, like between 5 or 6 people, and I think that's like outrageous.
Yeah.
But you should have went and got a cornerback because the corners been getting toast every game for the last 3 games. They've been getting cooked, and the thing is, if you watch us for the last 3 games, these quarterbacks been getting the ball out quick. So it's not going
Exactly.
to make a difference if Chase Young there, me or you is there rushing the passer. It don't matter if these quarterbacks get it out quick. These corners gonna get toast anyway. So you paying for a guy, and on top of that, you gonna have to pay him if he have a good year for the remainder of the year anyway, because you can't pick up his fifth year option because they
Yeah.
didn't.
Or you can let
Washington,
him walk.
or you can let him walk, or you can't trade him because he's a free agent. So it's like you trying to go all in, but the real problem is Brock Purdy. You trying to protect him. What's your feel on that? Because that's the way I feel about it. I think it's kind of crazy. Instead of you going out getting somebody to help from the cornerback position, which
Yeah.
I think you should have did,
I
and
think
then
that's a bigger issue
yeah,
for the team to have failed at this point because, like you said, Nick Bosa, they paid a lot of money and he's worth every dime. But what you've seen a lot of teams do, and you mentioned this, to try to neutralize Nick Bosa, you get the ball out fast, and they kind of neutralizes the pass rush. And so it's going to be, I think it's an addition that makes the 49ers better. I mean, it makes the defense better. And the
yeah,
better the defense, hey, we both said it, Brock Purdy's a system guy. And so the better pieces you have around him, the less it matters that he's, a system. He's a limited guy. He was the last pick in the draft for a reason. People
yeah,
wanted to make it a big story because it sounded nice. It was a nice little Cinderella story. But at the
mm-hmm,
end of the day, is you got to cover up for his limitations. And so I
yeah,
think this helps, but I don't think it helps enough when you're going to play against, like, for the 49ers, it's all Super Bowl or bust.
yeah,
It's a good place to be in as much as you know your team's good. It's not the Raiders where we just hoping to win a game.
yeah,
But the thing is, when you're as good as the 49ers or the Eagles or the Chiefs or the Bills are, it's win a Super Bowl or it's kind of a disappointment. And I don't think this gets them closer to winning a Super Bowl because when they play against those tough teams, you're going to need your quarterback to make plays for you
yeah,
to get through the playoffs. You might survive a game or two, but if you want to go all the way through, your quarterback has to make plays. And he doesn't have to be Patrick Mahomes, but he has to be good enough to win you a game, at least one game
mm-hmm,
during that playoff run. And I won't say Brock Purdy can't be that, but we haven't seen it yet. and against the
well,
toughest competition, we definitely haven't seen it. Welcome, Catherine Bracey, to the show. Good to have you with us.
I think it's this way. I think they're building. It's like the strongest points that we need right now are cornerbacks and offensive line.
Yeah.
And I think they're neglecting those two positions, honestly, in a bad way, because you're trying to say, well, we got a system quarterback or a quarterback that we
Yeah.
believe in, and we got these players around him, Debo, Brandon Ayuk, Kittles, McCaffrey, who can go out and make the plays that we need. All he got to do is just play the point guard position and get him the football in space. That's the problem. A
Yeah.
lot of teams already know that. And if you go back to the Cleveland game, Cleveland
Mm-hmm.
put that in play. Now everybody else is following suit and
Right.
saying, you know what? All you got to do is run 4 down linemen and then run everybody else between 10 and 15 yards, and then you can stop Brock Purdy because he's been throwing interceptions in the middle of the field. Most of it reminds me
He's
so
made
much of,
some really questionable passes,
yes.
almost Jimmy G like, if you
I was
will.
about to say that he reminds me. A lot of those
Yeah.
interceptions remind me of Jimmy
Yeah.
G
Yeah.
throwing it in the middle of the field, and it's like if you watch him, he'll throw and try to turn his head so he can't see it. It's like he's fading away, trying to, oh man, I'm about to get hit, then I'm gonna throw it. To me, I think that's just by adding Chase don't do nothing for that because Chase can't throw the ball and Chase can't play corner.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, and it's funny because he got asked, what are you gonna think about benching Brock Purdy? And Shanahan was like, why would I do that? He did
Right.
nothing wrong. Which for me sounds
Well,
it's
that's coach talk of I support your guy. He did a lot wrong. He
yeah.
did a lot wrong.
But
But
I was telling somebody earlier, you can't bench Brock Purdy.
No.
He's not going to do it because of these reasons. Because you came out and you said he was the real deal. You came out and you made him a captain. You traded away Trey Lance, who you spent all those picks on. And then you was like, look, he's the guy. He's the franchise. So you made this ploy saying that he was the guy. You can't go back on it and say, oh, you know what, now I'm going to put you on the bench because you ain't playing well for Sam Darnold. So he wants to prove everybody wrong that he can become that quarterback or make him that quarterback, which in turn he can't really. And
what they're going to be relying on is Trent Williams coming back, Debo coming back, and if the defense is playing at its best, then again you cover your system guy by making everything around him good, and we'll see. I wouldn't have a lot of faith in it. Other news story outside of, and I still got the celebration story that everyone's with. And Needham posted this earlier in the comments. By the way, hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Talking about Bobby Knight passing away at the age of 83.
He was a ruthless coach for it.
You can't be Bobby Knight. Goodness gracious. You can't be Bobby Knight in today's days and times. Throwing chairs out in the middle of the court, grabbing and choking players. He would be fired like week 1. But if you grew up in that time, he's one of those coaches, just legendary coaches. And so he had a great life, and he has Indiana been really worth talking about?
No,
since those days, not really.
Not really. Well, I don't think they kept up with the times either. To be honest with you, because they haven't adjusted to the one and dones and the younger guys coming in. So that's probably the program's fault too, because they haven't kept up with the actual time of now. So I understand that. But let's get to this Raiders news.
Hold on, wait.
You want to wait on that?
Look. This is the thing I've been looking forward to forever. I want to savor it just a little bit. Okay. Let it marinate. Let it gestate. We gonna talk about it. It. Are there any other? We talked about Trace Young. Are there any other of those trades that you found? I was kind of disappointed with this trade season. I was expecting a couple of moves that never happened. For one, Derrick Henry is still with the Titans. I think he and everybody else was hoping that I was expecting to see Mike Evans, and I don't know if you saw the story. There was actually people, Mike Evans and
Devontae
Adams. The Jets in particular were trying to make a move to get them, and they were told on both counts, these guys aren't available. So are there some trades out there that you were expecting to happen that didn't, or another one we mentioned Chase Young, but the Sweat? I don't really get the Bears move. He's a great player. But I don't understand why the Bears signed him. I was listening to in the morning. I can't remember the show, but they were basically like, "Why are they even making a move? They're supposed to want to get work." I think it was Jeff Saturday, if I remember correctly. Talking about they shouldn't want to win more games. So why would they bring in a player and pay a second rounder? I think they gave up for him.
They gave a second rounder.
Yeah,
but the thing is this: Chicago is a defensive-minded team.
Yeah,
they don't have an offensive-minded person there to say, okay, we need to go get just say for instance a Devontae Adams or something. But they don't have that there. They'd rather go get, and Montez Sweat is not. He's a really good. It was a good pickup, but I don't think it was worth a second. I mean, but he asked to be traded though.
Yeah.
So he wanted out because he was frustrated with obviously the system, the franchise. But from what I heard, from what they've been reporting is Magic Johnson and them, they wanted to get rid of Chase Young and them. They wanted to get rid of Montez Sweat. They wanted a fresh start.
A good friend of the show, Tony, I actually texted today. I was like, so are the Commanders putting out the signals that they're tanking the rest of the season? Because they got rid of the few talented players they have.
Yeah.
At least the ones on defense.
But I don't think so. I think they gave up Chase Young for a third round. He was the second overall pick just 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they in the report came out today and say that they did his attitude was a problem. He doesn't really take ownership of things around. I guess that he does in the organization,
Right.
and they say he take plays off. Now I don't understand. I hope he doesn't bring that
Five,
attitude.
what, 5.5 sacks so far this year?
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
they say he like to do kind of his own thing.
yeah,
Like he'll take a play off or two, or he'll go do a different play or run a different stunt in
gotcha.
order to get his shine and not everybody else. So they saying it was issues with
Yeah,
that, but I think it was more they trying to start over, and they trying to because the one thing they do, which I heard today, they saying Sam Howell, they believe in Sam Howell, he's the franchise, so they want to get some type of
yeah.
picks to build around him. Which in turns you got a second and a third, which makes sense. Where you can go get that young defensive tackle DN or whatever,
Yeah.
but they might want to go get a receiver. Who knows? It just depends. But they got the picks.
Yeah,
Um, so I get it.
we'll
But
see what they do with it.
as far as Devontae, I think Devontae got more what he wanted with
Yeah.
the coach and the
Well,
GM and,
you,
and, and the owner going. So
Nita mentioned earlier Antonio Pierce grew up a Raiders fan, so he's considered of that. Well, Devontae Adams grew up in California, and he grew up a Raiders fan as well.
yeah,
So, I mean, they're not in California anymore, but he
yeah,
grew up liking the team in addition to wanting to play with Derek Carr. So, I don't think he said it as much. People kind of, it was interesting after the last game, he didn't want to say too much and have stuff twisted by the media because the last time he
mm,
complained is he wants out. But he has said himself he wants to stay in Las Vegas. He
yeah.
likes being with the Raiders. He just didn't like what the direction the team was moving in. And so, Devontae Adams, I'm not surprised didn't get moved because he didn't really want to move. And the
Yeah,
Raiders, I don't think, want to move him as well because they want him to be there and build around him
exactly.
because I mean they need that kind of star power. They're gonna get they're in Las Vegas with
Of
casinos
course.
and everything. They can't have a bad they have a bad team, but they need to have stars on. They have to have stars on the team so people think the team could get good.
Yeah, yeah. It
So
makes sense.
it makes
I
sense.
think with the Adams thing, not Adams, but Evans,
Yeah,
I think I feel like they want to keep him, but they trying to find
yeah.
a way to pay him, and I don't think they're gonna be
That
able
ain't
to
gonna.
pay him. So
He's gonna end up walking. They're not gonna sign. I don't. Well, you talk Mike Evans. I don't see it
yeah,
happen. I see Welcome Skills forward to the show. He said he thought that the Kansas City was gonna go after. We've been saying since like
I
week
would say that
one.
forever.
Well, like, yo, how after that first game with no offense, Kadarius Toney, love you like a brother from another mother.
All
I
right,
got you on a
yeah,
couple of fantasy teams sitting on my bench, hoping that you get. Actually, I've had to play him a few weeks, but that's a whole nother story there. But after watching that first week, I don't see how the Chiefs went with McCole Hardman as their big
oh my
blockbuster
gosh,
trade.
jeez,
Whatever. So yeah, I'm with you, Skills 4. I was hoping they was gonna make a move, not for Adams because we need him with the Raiders, but I thought they would go for Mike Evans or maybe even a Jerry Jeudy. It's hard to do
yeah.
those kind of trades in the division, but I thought they was gonna try to make at least some sort of blockbuster wide receiver move because that room is terrible.
Well, I look at it this way: they won a Super Bowl
Yeah,
last year without
they had
a big
Juju.
name receiver last year. So
Juju.
they thinking, but they thinking like that's
Yeah,
probably their thought process is okay. Do we really need to go get that big receiver because we won
yeah.
one without one? So we don't need that guy.
They like what they're getting from Rashee Rice. They think
And
he's
I
getting
like Rasheed Rice.
he and Mahomes are getting the chemistry together. So
Yeah,
I think they're probably saying by the time the playoffs come along,
he should be
our wide
fine.
receiver room will be better than it looks
Yeah,
today. As long as Travis Kelce stays healthy, and that's really the main thing they need for that offense. So
yeah. I mean,
I think it's a
I'm on
gamble,
Rasheed.
but I ain't mad at it.
I like Rasheed Rice though. I think
Yeah,
Rasheed Rice is gonna be. He's starting to get a lot of that wide receiver run role, honestly.
yeah.
So I think that's a good thing. Um, I like it. Let me ask you this though: Leonard Fournette to Buffalo.
That's the other trade.
How do you how you feel
Mm.
about that?
I think it's somewhere in because I had another question from about that trade earlier this week. I think it's somewhere in between what we'll see from Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott. Um,
Hmm.
more usage probably than we've seen from Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's going to be more than what we get from Ezekiel because, hey, if the Bills were going to use a running back, they would have done it like the last 3 years, and they
Yeah.
haven't. So,
Yeah.
we'll see. I think it's just a depth move. It's good. I was surprised that it took so long for any team because
To get him.
that's the situation I saw mentioned earlier about injuries this year. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know why people just like passing on Leonard Fournette like he's old news. He still can be a productive guy. Not
He's
what he used to be, but it's not like he's Leonard Fournette is that guy who just seems like he's much older than he really is.
he really ain't though.
Like
He's
it's
like
like
28 years old.
yeah, it's like Leonard Fournette's been in the league for at least 10 years, right? And it's like no.
No. I looked it up because
I know.
I thought Leonard Fournette was like 30.
Yeah,
But I was like, he's 28
he's
years old.
He's a young guy. Well, not NFL young, but he ain't been. He's the guy that I think you said so many times. Now he's been collecting on so many different teams. It just seems like Leonard Fournette's been in the league much longer than he also has. But we'll see what happens of it. Like I said, I don't expect a whole lot, but he might do for a good fill in on some bye week.
I think if they use him correctly, I think because playoff Lenny is what they really hope for.
Mm-hmm.
But if they use him correctly, and they let him run the ball, and I ain't saying getting him 25 carries. I'm saying giving him
12
because
at the most.
12 to 15 carries a game, and then you bring in like James Cook to kind of take the rest up because they don't.
I think Cook is still the lead guy in that backfield.
The thing is, Cook is small, and
Yeah,
Cook
he
can't run through he can't run between the tackles.
Look, same for Tony Pollard, but Dallas said they weren't even interested in bringing in Derrick Henry, which made no sense to me. It's like, how do you not at least interested?
You can't. This is the way I look at it. You can't bring in Derrick Henry, and now I thought that would have been great for Dallas.
We talked about it just a week ago.
In terms of bringing him in and with Tony Pollard, because it ain't like it's Zeke, because Zeke was on the back end of his career. So, but Henry still got some juice, a little bit juice left. You would still have to get Derrick Henry 25 carries, and that's gonna cut into Pollard's. Yeah, Pollard's. Then you're gonna take Pollard down to 10 carries again, even though he's probably best suited for 10 carries, 10 to 12 carries a game. I don't think he can run 20 times a game.
He hasn't been able to do it this season.
No.
Not
and that's the thing. Now, I think you should give him 10 to 12 carries, but Derrick Henry comes in and takes his job immediately.
Yeah.
And I don't think they wanted that. So I think they just was like, you know what? We're just going to stay away from it and just go from there. So,
and that's why they're going to be sitting out in the playoffs slightly out every year. But
hey,
let's hit some of these comments. Skills for again saying, and this is I think in regards to Leonard Fournette thinking he may have held out to be a contender. So if you're going to hold out, the Bills are a good team to join in mid-season because you know you're going to be in the playoffs and you have a good shot at going to the Super Bowl, maybe even. Who knows? Nita says she thinks the Bills might lose to the Bengals. I won't be Burrow's looking pretty doggone good right now. The Bengals they started slow, but they do that a lot.
That's
so
the norm. Week 7, week 8,
they get hot when it matters, right?
Oh yeah.
Welcome, Jasper Lewis, the senior to the show. Glad you could be with us early. We're gonna try to keep doing the work we can do, but I don't know what's going on with Nita. Saying don't be surprised. Only if here's how Miami beats the Chiefs. That flu symptoms that Mahomes was dealing with last week lingers into this week. I'm trying to tell you, and I know Nita's in a football pool. Do not put Miami as your winner. I'm trying to tell you right now because we've seen the weakness of Miami. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they won. I'm not going to say it's impossible. Yeah. But if you ask me who's the better team, it's the Chiefs. I wouldn't be surprised. Miami has that track team we talked about before that can beat anybody. However, we see and don't sleep on that Kansas City Chiefs defense. And we've seen they struggle against the better defenses. And this what is interesting for fantasy football purposes, at least. One, everybody make sure you set your lineups early because it's in Germany. Yes. But two, That's going to be a
high scoring game.
showstopper, right?
Woo! I can't wait. Woo!
Yeah.
I can't wait. And I got
Hey,
2 this week too.
I might even put Kadarius Toney in the lineup. I'm
Please
not doing it.
don't do that. Don't do that. I would say this.
Yeah.
You're not gonna see Mahomes have 2 bad games in a row.
I agree with that.
It don't happen.
It never happens.
It never happens. So you can forget the fact that he's gonna have a second bad game. That's just it's never gonna happen. You can forget it. And I think he's gonna come out.
And even that game, I wouldn't say wasn't good. But when you had the flu and the weather that they had, I'm putting it all together and saying, you didn't see Mahomes last week. But like you said, you ain't going to see Mahomes be bad 2 weeks in a row. That offense is too good. And even though they have a track team, if you ask me which offense is better, I put the Chiefs above the Dolphins because they have the better quarterback.
They do have the better quarterback, but
Miami has the best wide receivers.
I don't see, but I don't. The thing with that is, you still got to stop Kelsey, and Kelsey doesn't run routes. Kelsey runs his own routes, so he kind of. It's a known fact that Kelsey will go to a spot. If he see a spot, he goes to a spot.
He is so good at analyzing defense. He's like a quarterback that plays tight end. And so he looked and we've seen them have these discussions on the sidelines in real time where he's just breaking down what's happening on the defense and he knows exactly where to go and when to get there. The only thing that has me a little concerned, and I know y'all gonna be mad at me, Taylor Swift can't come to the game. They're undefeated.
You don't care. Like
she missed the game and they get a loss. I'm just saying. Coincidence?
You keep bringing this up, and that your wife behind you gonna start something.
Nope, I'm not saying. Nope, I'm not saying.
I'm not doing it.
Nope, I am not saying a word tonight because
I'm not entertaining it. I'm not.
I don't care. I don't.
Yo, I need to talk about the flu. Michael Jordan technically didn't have the flu. That's been already true. He had food poisoning. Fooling around with pizza in Utah.
Jordan flu.
Say again?
He had the Michael Jordan flu.
The Michael Jordan flu.
He had food poisoning.
Yeah, he had food poisoning. Oh, don't order pizza when you in the finals. It's the moral of that story.
They tried to get him sick. Food poisoning. So,
But we saw the Broncos game, but that wasn't the Chiefs that we saw.
But so I see your comment talking about, but you see what Michael Jordan did, but Michael Jordan wasn't playing in 20-degree weather either.
He plays in.
I mean, I'm just saying football and basketball are two different sports. You can't compare what Michael Jordan did compared to what Mahomes had to do.
Yeah.
They play outside. It was cold as heck in Denver last week.
Yeah, it was like,
you know what I'm saying? And so if he was sick, and let's just say he had a low-grade fever, that junk in the cold, speaking from a Midwest girl, that will mess with you. If you're sitting inside somewhere warm and trying to do something, you function better.
Yeah.
So you can't compare that to Michael Jordan. I'm just saying you can't.
I say this.
He won, but you can't compare the two situations. Those are totally different sports
it's
weather
a different
conditions.
set of,
Come on, let's be real here.
But like I said, we gonna see what happens. I'd say this: we've seen what the weakness is for the Dolphins, and I think that gets exposed again. But it should be a good game, and for your fantasy football lineups, hey, I'm gonna tell you right now: put in whoever you got, play them. Welcome Hans C to the show. Good to have you. Hey, better late than never. So good to have you here. Let's see. I think we got pretty much all the comments at this point. I did miss one earlier talking about Lamar Jackson.
I got a question. You got a question. Did you miss that one?
Who? Oh, what did I miss? 4. Catch me up.
Skills 4's got a question. He said, I know this is off topic, but should we worry about the Vikings core players, Addison, Hawkinson? With that, I say yes. Mm-hmm. Also, you need to worry about Jefferson if he even tries to come back at this point. I think Jefferson is a player. I don't think he sits out.
Do you shut him down if you're the coach?
No, I don't. Okay. I let him play. I mean, because he's a guy that wants to play. So you don't shut him down unless it's to the point where they're just losing. Because technically they're 4-4. They made the trade for Josh Dobbs. Dobbs is an okay, serviceable quarterback. Mm-hmm. So he can do something.
Yeah.
So I think he played well in Arizona for Arizona not to have no talent. So I'm not saying he's Kirk Cousins.
Wow, that was mean.
I mean, think about it.
They got Hollywood Brown.
Oh, they don't have talent. Stop playing.
Okay. That's all I got.
Again, if you got Addison, Jefferson, Hockenson, I think Dobbs can be serviceable as your quarterback there. So I don't look, for me, I think they'll be all right, but I would kind of give it a week before I say, okay, I want to see what I got. I would give it a week at least.
I am not so concerned about Hockenson, especially with the sad state of tight ends in fantasy football at this point. I still play him. I think he's going to be a good. In fact, I still play Addison just because, without Justin Jefferson, he's because, hey, how good has KJ Osborne been? Not much. No. You got to throw the ball to somewhere. But yeah, you're not gonna. He ain't Kirk Cousins. Josh Dobbs is not, like you said, he's not Kirk Cousins. So I still play those core guys. But,
me too.
It ain't gonna be the luxury that you had going up to this point.
I mean, I like Addison. I think Addison, what he's done with Jefferson now, I think that's honestly that helps Minnesota in the long run because you have a three-headed monster literally between Addison, Jefferson, and Hockenson, where you can say you could go to war with any of those guys.
Yeah.
And I think Addison's just going to make Jefferson's job a lot easier because you can't swing all the coverage over to Jefferson now because you got to worry about Addison. So, but the question is, who's going to be the quarterback next year? Which
Kirk Cousins, baby.
That's down the line. But do they bring him back?
I think they do. Before the season started, I was thinking probably not. Mm-hmm. I think they work out a deal to bring Cousins back. I think he's been too good this year. I think he should, especially, no offense, when he beat the 49ers without Justin Jefferson there. I think he probably worked himself into another contract, and they give it another go. Yeah.
I mean, there's no other way you can go, and I think that's the only team that would give him guaranteed money. Because I don't think no other team is going to throw him guaranteed money because that's the type of contract he's coming to get anyway.
It's what he's been getting.
So nobody's giving him.
The standard's been set. So
he's not going to go for partial money anymore. You can forget that. So no.
What do you think? Monty starting up stuff with with Jahmyr Gibbs again. Well, hey, have we seen the flip?
I think we've seen the flip. Gibbs is oh my gosh, that.
Yeah, I've got him in one. I've got him in one league. I wish I had him in more.
Gibbs he's the answer. He's definitely. I think him and Monty together is going to be good, but I think also you got to mix them in. But I think it's got to be like a dead split. Yeah. It can't be Monty all the time.
You're not going to see and the people that were disappointed with the way Gibbs' season started, saying that he should get more carries. I think you're going to be happy the rest of the way. He's going to definitely get more carries. But when Monty gets back, he ain't going to be nothing. And so he's going to get his work. It's going to be a pretty even split between the two, and I think that's the best. I think that's the best for the Lions to use both guys.
See, the thing with Monty though, Monty's always hurt. So Gibbs gonna always have that chance to be that number one guy anyway, because Monty's always hurt. He's known for being hurt. No disrespect to Monty, because I like Monty,
but it's the truth.
He's always hurt though. So I think they do a 50-50 split. You might even want to go 60-40 Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean, there you go.
And just make Monty the goal line guy, and just call it a day. Because Gibbs look good.
I think he'll get more than just goal line work. Like I said, he'll be the early back. But yeah, they're gonna work both of these guys in. And finally, Gibbs is getting Carla a win against our beloved producer. But hey, those are the breaks. So do you have Gibbs better than Bijan?
I think Gibbs in a better situation than Bijan.
Better because the team is better? Or better because...
I think the team is better in Detroit than the team in Atlanta. And I think I I will say this: I think Bijan will burn out before Gibbs does, because
they're gonna run with the workload.
They're gonna run Bijan into the ground.
Yeah,
honestly.
So for my fantasy purposes, I still think I prefer Bijan because they're gonna use him for a work. But I think both guys are gonna have fairly successful careers. So we'll have to see.
I mean, I think so too. But in the long run, I think Gibbs is he's gonna last a little bit longer because they're not gonna use him. Like Bijan is gonna get 25 carries a game for the first 2-3 years, and he's gonna have 300 plus carries.
I'm a little bit surprised that they're not using Tyler Algier more, given the fact that when they did have to go to him, he was instantly. I mean, the way that offense is set up, use both guys, sort of like Detroit's trying to do with using both guys. I don't know why Atlanta's not doing the same.
But that's the problem though. Yeah. They're gonna run Bijan so much these first 2 years. They're gonna get what they can out of Bijan, and then they probably on that 3rd year he's gonna fight for a contract like all running backs. And he's gonna be 300 carries plus this year. He probably gonna do 300 carries anyway this year. So
congratulations, Carly. Again, she's so far down in this standings in that ladies league. Yeah, it's rough. It's tough sledding over there. I say that much. Hans, talk about this trade. Did somebody has anyone's light been extinguished as quickly as Calvin Ridley's? Because he started off the season like he was going to be the thing. So yeah, that trade looks real good now. Because I don't know what's up with Calvin Ridley. Did he burn out? He used up all the gas he had left, and now he's feeling the tiredness from missing last season.
But I mean, I said it earlier. Christian Kirk was the 1A. I said it. I called it.
I don't even think it's 1A anymore. I think it's just 1.
Yeah, I think he has a better rapport with Christian Kirk, and it was shown last year.
Lawrence,
But I think part of it got to do because Ridley did miss so much football. Yeah, he may not be in game shape. He may not have that energy like he would pass in the past years because he was set out so long. I think really it'll be fine though. I don't think it's a big deal. I just think he probably hit a wall right at this point because he missed football so much. Now he's trying to kind of play. Football is tough, man. And if you can't really miss too much time and come back like that and just play a full season. So it don't work that way, man. So no. I think it'd be all right, to be honest with you.
Yeah. We've been so much Hans said he's not a believer in Trevor Lawrence as a top quarterback. I think he's not top, but he's mid-top. I actually expected more from Trevor Lawrence this year than we've seen. So I don't
honestly, I hate to say this, but I will put him in that from a fantasy standpoint, right? I'll put him in that
3rd grouping.
No, not even that 3rd grouping, man. I'm Tony Romo-ish. He reminds me of he's not bad, but he's not great. It's like he's in between good and great, but he's above. He's right there. Tony Romo was always good, but he was never great. And I think Lawrence can get there, but Lawrence has always been I ain't gonna say overhyped, but he's always had that hype train.
Yeah, he came in with a whole lot of hype around him.
Yeah. Now, has he lived up to it? Probably not. But they do have a good record this year, so that gotta say something. So, but I mean, a lot of people don't believe in him. If you're not in Jacksonville, you're not gonna believe in him.
Yeah. So I say still that whole draft class as a whole has been disappointing. So he's still the best of the group. Class. But we'll see. Did I mention, by the way, that we're celebrating down here in the bottom because Josh McDaniels is gone?
Yeah.
So Carla. I jumped off. I'm not gonna say the name, but last week I said I'm giving up on getting one person fired, and I'm putting all my energy into getting Josh McDaniels fired. And guess what happened? With less than 7 days, he is gone. He's gone. Jimmy Garoppolo gone, offensive coordinator gone, general manager gone. So the Raiders are starting back up. Aiden O'Connell season is starting. Are you starting Aiden O'Connell against the Giants this week?
No. If you have no reason to. Stop it.
What? What if you're in the not in a one quarterback league? What about a 2 quarterback or superflex league? Still no. Man, you're tough.
No, not even. And I picked them up, and I picked them up in the gridiron because your dad dropped them. He on my bench right now, so
yeah, he's on my bench too. I don't have intentions of playing him yet.
Neither.
but I am holding on to him in the league. I have him in 2 dynasty leagues, Aiden O'Connell, and then I have him in 2 quarterback league. But I also still have Jimmy Garoppolo in that league, and I'm gonna just hold on to both of them to see. But I think we've probably seen the last of Jimmy. If Aiden O'Connell's going to be who I think he's going to be.
You know more than I know about this. What is Jimmy's contract? Is it out after this year?
Too much. No, I don't think they can really part with him until the year after next. But they reworked it because of his left foot injury. But I think it's still going to be. I think he's still going to probably be with the team next year unless they work out some sort of sort of like you guys did with him at the end and have him restructure that contract because I don't think they're gonna try to let him play at all anymore.
So so you have no out at all with Jimmy?
Well, it's football. There's always outs.
I mean, your contracts,
but I think I think he's supposedly on a hook for him until next year, but it's football. So I said those contracts aren't worth the paper they're written on. I'm laughing. He's talking about the bowl cut. It's a problem.
Yeah, that cut.
I don't understand how you're that rich and that's the haircut you come up with. But I guess he's trying to prove the point that I'm so rich it doesn't even matter what I look like.
It don't matter.
But yeah. But here's the thing. The Raiders are going to have to put in a lot of work getting their Nets coach. And it's not like Mark Davis is a bad owner. He hasn't been a good owner for the Raiders. Yeah. But he's also the owner of the Las Vegas Aces, who just won back-to-back championships. So
he's not a bad owner.
He can make the right decisions. I'm hoping he takes his time, doesn't try to rush into just because the whole Josh McDaniels thing was his infatuation with everything Patriots, and that's the guy he wanted. He didn't listen, I don't think, to the players because there's not a player that wanted. They didn't even want the players. Don't even want him in New England when he was there. He's not a people person, and you don't have to be a player's coach, but you at least need the respect of your players. And he's never had that going for him. So I'm glad to see his butt out of town. I just hope we talked about the issue with the Pittsburgh Steelers is they're too loyal to the coaches.
Oh gosh, yes.
The Raiders have been the exact opposite. They're right now on their 8th coach in the last 12 years. Just since doggone Mark Davis has been there, we've gone through coaches like toilet paper. So I'm hoping they take their time to get a good coach and give him that kind of Steelers loyalty. So
we'll
see.
I think I heard somebody say today that they're paying obviously him now, plus the previous coach who had a 6-year deal.
Well, they actually worked out. So I think they did finally reach a settlement with John Gruden. So I think they might be out of that one.
Oh, they out of that one?
I think.
Okay, because I know they still paying John Gruden or something of that nature.
I think they ended up finally coming up with a settlement. I have to check it to make sure.
Because it was a 6-year deal, right?
No, he had a 10-year deal.
He had a 10-year deal, but he got fired in the first 3 years or 4 years.
Yeah. I want to say 3.
Okay, so they still owed him another 7 years. Well, that was a year ago, so it'll be 6 years now. Plus now with Josh, so it's like you paying 2 coaches to not coach you, not coach your teams now. So. They got to make the right decision next time.
Again, now, 8th coach in 12 years. So,
So let me ask you this. Eric Bieniemy? Will he be the perfect coach for the Raiders?
No.
Why not?
I don't think. Here's my wild guess. I think they go defense.
Why?
Because one, the defense has been completely terrible for years, and they have an opportunity with Max Crosby to really make a statement. Because as much as I love Devontae Adams is just good. The only thing that can slow him down is Jimmy Garoppolo and Josh McDaniels, right?
I will give you that.
I don't think they necessarily need to build around him and I guess maybe Aiden O'Connell. I talk a lot of Aiden O'Connell, but it's still no guarantee he's going to be the long-term solution either. The defense, as crazy as it may sound, has shown some potential, and the defense has actually saved the Raiders in a few cases this year. So I think that's, in my opinion, that's probably the direction they're going to go, especially if they do like I want them to do and talk to Max Crosby, because he's the face of the franchise.
Yeah.
And so I think that pulls them more into that direction. Now, the other name that has gotten thrown out is maybe Harbaugh leaves Michigan because he's been having so many problems with cheating scandals and everything else happening up there.
Yeah.
You had him as your coach for the 49ers. Yeah.
See, with Harbaugh, and which is funny, y'all fired the coach and the GM. Yeah. He wanted to be the coach and the GM of the 49ers before he got fired. Mm-hmm. And they wouldn't. I wish they would have did it because they chose Trent Baalke over him. And I think that was the wrong decision. I think Harbaugh would have won a Super Bowl at some point as the coach of the 49ers.
Yeah.
So I think personally Harbaugh is a good fit because obviously he keep getting caught up with scandals and cheating scandals and whatever you want to call it at Michigan. He won't have those problems in NFL because it's all legal. Money is legal. You can get certain players. You don't have to cheat to get certain players now. I think it's good. The reason I bring up Eric Bieniemy because it's an offensive league nowadays. You can hire a defensive coordinator that can make your defense good. You just got to give them the control to allow them to work their magic. And I think Eric Bieniemy would be that guy to say, all right, I'm going to handle the offense, you handle the defense, and we just going to work it together and go from there. So I think at the end of the day, I think Bieniemy will be a good choice. I mean, look what he's doing with Sam Howell. Honestly, I mean, let's be real.
Do you think there's a chance that he gets that Washington job? Is that why he went there?
Ron Rivera is on a 1-year deal. Yeah. He has 1-year deal left, I think, which is this year, I want to say. And he's on a 1-year deal. So it's going to be a new coach regardless, unless they re-sign Ron Rivera to a new deal, which I don't think so. Because he doesn't have a good record.
Yeah, I don't think he's there after this year.
I wish Eric Bieniemy would get the job there in Washington. I think he's a good fit because he made Sam Howell. I'm not saying Sam Howell like a Pro Bowler, but he's made Sam Howell to a decent quarterback. To where
he's shown some potential. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think at the end of the day, I think he either that job or y'all. I think he deserves one of those two jobs. Now, Harbaugh, if you can grab Harbaugh from Michigan, y'all going to have to pay a lot for him coming out of Michigan.
I'll be honest with you. I know the name gets thrown out a lot, but I'm actually hoping they don't go in that direction.
Ooh, they're going to have to pay him a lot of money.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. At least 12 to $15 million to coach. And that's probably 12 on the low end because he's making like 10, 8 or 9 or something like that at Michigan right now. Yeah. He's making some outrageous number at Michigan. So, I don't know. I think it'll be a good fit for y'all, though. So, we'll see.
What do you think about Dalton Kincaid in good standing this week for Laporta?
I honestly...
Laporta's been... I actually had someone we know make me a trade offer for...
Laporta.
Not actually... two people this year have been trying to get Laporta from me,
Yeah.
and I've been telling every last one of them no. Because Laporta is the new Travis Kelce. He's too good. Is Dalton Kincaid a good stand-in? He's starting to come along. I don't think you're going to get Laporta usage out of him, though.
You know what I would put in there? I've been against this guy for a long time, and I'm not a fan of him. But Taysom Hill is somebody you should put. Taysom Hill the last 2-3 weeks, honestly, has given you, I think, 10 in our league, 10, 12, and 25s. Yeah. And what you're getting with Taysom Hill at tight end is you're not just getting tight end, you're getting quarterback, you're getting running back, you're getting a mixed bag of a bunch of stuff.
He can do a lot.
And he's listed as a tight end, but you're really getting a whole bunch of stuff there that is going to get you more points than a normal tight end.
The only problem with him is his numbers are unpredictable. Sometimes they'll be really high, and then they'll go low, and then it depends on what they're doing that week. But it's not a bad for a bye week. I would go with it. Yeah.
I mean, think about it. All the tight ends that's out. Tight end are probably one of the weakest positions in fantasy football right now. If outside,
which one can you think of that's weaker?
Some running backs, once you hit a certain amount, then the running backs get really weak. But tight ends are weak, literally.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
are down.
Kelce, Laporta, and then it's question marks.
Yeah,
like all the way down.
I mean, Kittle's had a good game last week, but that's a rare.
You never know. Exactly. Yeah. That's the problem with tight ends. There's always a guy who steps up and has a good week, but you can't predict it. It used to be Mark Davis. Dang it.
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews. Yeah. I'm still focusing back here on this discussion about
the haircut.
Yeah. But nah. I think tight end is the most questionable one, but I don't think Dalton Kincaid's a bad pick for this week. I actually expected him to be what Sam Laporta has been this year. I'm actually still quite surprised that that Sam Laporta has been able to get the usage that he's gotten in there. Because I thought with that offense, he was going to be like fourth option at best, and hey,
not even.
Oops.
Yeah, but I say, I mean, for if you need a tight end this week, I would put him in.
That's not
because it's not many out there, to be honest with you. Njoku, I mean, he had a good week last week, but
I can never trust Njoku.
You can't trust
Njoku. To me, Njoku is the new Austin Hooper.
Austin Hooper had half a season, and he was good. So
I can't roll with that one. Let's see what else we got down here. Welcome Andrew G to the show.
What's going on, Andrew?
Would you start Henderson or Pickens this week at Fleck? I picked up Henderson in a couple of leagues last week, and he might get played again this week.
I can't jump off the Pickens train
quite yet. That offense is just so freaking depressing to me.
I mean, see, what I hope, though, tomorrow, I hope, and I'm not wishing bad on Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh, they got to do something with this offensive coordinator. They have to.
I can't talk on it.
Yes, you can.
I can't talk on it.
We was on the phone the other day. You act like you want to talk on it. But you're going to talk about it. You got to talk about it. I hope Pickens does well because, obviously, Pickett is back this week, so he's playing. So I think he should be better. That's a tough one, though, man, because that's a toss-up for me. Henderson been looking good. Pickett's been looking good outside of last week.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a toss-up. I'm going to say Pickens because I'm on the Pickens train. But I think the Rams didn't look good last week.
They didn't.
No, they didn't look good last week.
I think they look better against the Packers.
I think so too.
If I had to pick between the two, only because that offense is so inept right now with the Steelers, I go Henderson just because I trust his ability to one score, which is something the Steelers don't seem to be interested in doing. But more so, I think now that Deontay Johnson's back, Pickens is not so reliable. So I'd probably go Henderson. But it's a good question. It's a good question. Thanks. We appreciate it. I saw Hans saying that he went with his waiver priority and went with someone had taken Hill already. So I think Kincaid's a good call for this.
Yeah,
week.
I think so too.
So I mean, they're gonna need to put up some points this week. That should be a good game. I don't think it's Kansas City Dolphins good, but Bills Bengals should be pretty good. The only thing that scares me is that could turn into a defensive game more so than the other one. But I think there's a lot of points to be had.
I don't know about that. I think at the end of the day, it's going to be an offensive game because both defenses are hurt.
Yeah.
So,
the Bills picked up a safety. I can't remember.
Picked up a corner.
A corner? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they could be better. From the Packers, I think he played for?
Yep.
I can't remember. All right. Carly has a question. Who are you going with? Adam Thielen? I'm pretty sure you're going to go.
First of all, wait a minute here. Hold up, Carly.
Do I need you to finish the rest?
No. I'm not going to let you finish, man.
Go ahead.
Why is Thielen even available? First of all, have y'all not watched Thielen this year?
Maybe she has him on her bench already. And
why is he not in the lineup?
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you not watched Thielen this year? Thielen is balling this year.
The answer, Carla, is Thielen. Thielen is the answer. Tutu Atwell, no. Yeah, and Nico Collins is a maybe, but Adam Thielen is consistent week to week. So yeah, that's definitely the choice. Justin, what's up? He got his coach. He needed Josh Jacobs to do some work. I was hoping it would work out for him, so I'm glad Josh Jacobs did get that one touchdown, enough to get him the victory. But the new coach in Las Vegas, we're celebrating Antonio Pierce.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be like I said, the Raiders have the worst of their season behind them, so I'm really excited. Han said he finally gave up on Jalen Warren on the bench and dropped him. Yeah, he could have been dropped.
Yeah, he could have been dropped a long time ago.
That offense is terrible.
Yeah.
And terrible. I've been meaning to check the score while we've been on about the Rangers because they can end it all tonight.
I can check it for you.
Yeah, I just did.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, so they're up at the top of the 7th. So it's the ratings for this World Series haven't really been great because it's two teams that practically no one expect. Well, yeah, kind of. But
yeah, they didn't. I mean, call a spade now. They didn't want to see it.
I've tried to tune in when I could. I've been so busy this past week that I've been missing a lot of the games. But the Rangers look like they might be able to get it done. So we'll see where that goes. I'm not going to read the second half about that Rangers comment from Justin because he knows what's up. But yeah. The Rangers, hey, if it's not gonna be the Red Sox, at least it's gonna be an AL team. So I'm cool with that.
Okay.
And yeah, Hans C has put it in the comment, but I can't read it because it's gonna include a name that I can't say. But basically, I skipped the first sentence and say Warren's never gonna be more than a flex start. Okay, no. Okay, that was supposed to be Najee. I can't say Najee. I thought you were trying to say the other name that starts.
I don't know why you won't say it.
Because I'm not talking about that guy anymore. I mean, the guy I'm supposed to be rooting for to get fired already got fired, so I guess I could back up off that original statement. But I'm gonna just say that's the Steelers' problem.
Oh my god!
And so
it might happen if you talk about it.
Let this. I don't care if it happens anymore. I've rooted for the Steelers as much as I'm going to root for them this year. They're just disappointing me because they're ruining all of my bold predictions I made about them to start the season. So they don't deserve my love.
Ooh,
hey, I can look at the bottom. I can get a coach fired when I put my effort into it. It only took me a week. So, I think our Steelers fans that watch the show should put their work in to make it happen for them too. Just as he got Waller and Njoku hurt. Let's hope. We're talking about the tight end situation, and the thing about Waller is he's always hurting. He has a hamstring injury. He's supposed to miss some time, like he always does.
Yeah, he's gonna be out a couple of weeks. They say.
Yeah. So.
Yep.
Good luck with that. It's hard to find a tight end. I don't much care for Njoku. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have anything to offer you unless I would say is there anyone better on waivers, but I'm gonna go ahead without even being in your league and say there's not because there's no good. Look, even the good tight ends, aren't but so good. So
yeah.
Best of luck to you. Devin Singletary to the moon.
No.
Not as far as I know.
No, not even.
Not from what I've seen from that offense.
Daniel Pierce ain't been good either.
He ain't been good either. And
so I think it's more honest.
C.J. Stroud and Tank Dell, Nico Collins on a good week. If you're not a receiver or a tight end, hey, they have a good tight end if you can fill. If you can, but he's probably taking Dalton Schultz. He's probably not available, but I like him as a tight end. Yeah.
That's more of a passing team. I don't think they're not running the ball well at all. So Dalton Schultz, no. I mean, Devin Singletary, no.
Yeah, Devin Singletary is not for me. That running game is terrible, which I'm surprised by. I thought that was going to be the strength of their team this year.
Well,
Thielen or Kupp? For me, it's Cooper Kupp all the time. All Kupp all day.
I don't know. Is Stafford playing?
But why can't you play them both? That would be my comment. That's,
why? Colin, you will win more games if you put both of them in the lineup.
It seems to me impossible that you could put together a 1-2 combination. Well, you can't find ones that are better, but I'm just going with my semi-knowledge of that women's fantasy football landscape. I think Thielen and Kupp should definitely be in your starting lineup.
In your lineup.
Yeah.
Or every week. Those are two guys you don't take out.
Yeah, those guys, even if I'm using a flex spot, to make sure I get them all in. I'm getting both.
Yeah, they don't come out. You don't take them out. No.
Justin wants to know if he wins this game. He's got Hurts, Bijan, Josh Jacobs, CeeDee Lamb, Puka, Njoku again, Deontay Johnson, the Giants defense, and then playing against Patrick Mahomes, Alvin Kamara, DeAndre Swift, DK Metcalf, Amari Cooper, Kelsey, and Pittman Jr. Ravens defense. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Justin, you're my guy.
You're gonna need some help on that one.
Justin, you're my guy, Justin.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
But I'm a lean on the other side of this one, Justin, because AK-41 been balling, Swift definitely been balling, DK is always balling. Amari, even with PJ Walker. Deshaun Watson might come back this week, they saying.
Yeah.
Kelsey. Between Mahomes and Kelsey, they're on revenge because they played sort of bad last week.
Yeah, that's the part that really scares me the most.
Yeah. I don't know.
Plus, the obvious elephant in the room, do you really think Kansas City's trying to lose to a Tyreek Hill team?
No, not even.
not even a little bit.
I just don't know. I think you might be losing this one. If not, it's gonna be close though.
Hey, we're gonna be rooting for you on R&J, but
yeah.
Ooh,
I mean, if you get
what's the record of the team you're playing against? Because that seems like that should be one of your top teams.
Yeah,
that you're playing against.
If Jalen Hurts, his biggest thing is if Jalen Hurts, CeeDee, and Puka, those three he can if those three can do work.
I tell you one, don't count on Josh Jacobs putting up really good numbers this week.
Yeah, he's really relying on Hurts, Puka, and CeeDee.
Yeah,
and maybe Bijan to do work to get him this win because that's what he gonna need. Now you need Hurts to match Mahomes.
You need a super Hurts game, which is more than possible.
Yeah. That's a tough one there. Whew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it should be interesting. Well, I take that back. Maybe you can get some work from Josh Jacobs, only because with Aiden O'Connell out there, maybe they lean heavily on the run game, but they just have not looked good enough to me to put a lot of faith in that. And honestly, yeah, let us know the guy he's playing is 4-4. I'm a little bit surprised.
Me too.
Yeah.
He should have a better record than that.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Hey, we're rooting for you. Diamondback fans are the ultimate fair weather fans. I thought that was Yankee fans. No. Just pick between these: Jaron Hall, Dalton Kincaid. I'm assuming Rashee Rice and Drake London. You got to pick two.
Rashee Rice. Definitely.
Yeah, Rice. I think is one for that. We talked about that game. That's going to be a barn burner right there.
I'm on the fence with Drake London.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking I'm going to go with.
I'm on the fence. I would go Rice, Drake London.
Yeah.
Especially with the quarterback change.
Yeah.
I'm definitely.
That's going to be interesting to see what Heineke does because Desmond Ridder has a concussion.
Yeah, right. Okay. Right. Yeah. All of a sudden, yeah. Okay.
What about Chuba, Rice, or Douglas? You got to pick one of those. And similar, I think there was a question earlier. Do you think Chuba's the real deal?
No,
I'm not impressed with Chuba. Chuba Howard.
I'm still going Rice. I think Rice is gonna really become that number one receiver in Kansas City. And I'm not going to compare him to no other receiver that was there before. Yeah. But I will say he is, once he gets it going with Mahomes, I think he can be semi-special within that offense.
Yeah.
So,
like I just think for this particular game, someone's going to have to step up other than Travis Kelce. And Rashee Rice is your most likely, especially in the end zone. He's your most likely option to get a touchdown.
And I think he's leapfrogged a bunch of those receivers anyway.
I mean,
he's leaped those.
Seriously?
Yeah. So,
leapfrog as if there was some competition.
Saying, he came in.
He was born into being better than everyone on that roster.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I agree with you on that
one. Back to Chuba. I think he's a 3-down back only because what other choice do you have?
Yeah, they have nothing else.
Yeah. Who do you like for defense this week? Atlanta or Dallas? Atlanta's on the Falcons, and Dallas is playing against the Eagles.
I'm not playing Dallas defense. I'm playing Atlanta's defense.
Yeah.
It might be other. Do you have any other options as far as defense?
Yeah.
I would play Cleveland. If you can get, probably you can't get Cleveland defense, but if you can, I would try to shoot for Cleveland's defense.
Ooh, I don't know why they would be available, but yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know what else is available.
They shouldn't be. If I had to choose between those two,
I'm going Atlanta.
I'd probably go Atlanta. Yeah, because we'll see what Josh Dobbs looks like. In this first, that offense is not going to be the Kirk Cousins offense, regardless. But yeah, I'm not. AJ Brown, was it 6 straight games of 125?
Yeah.
I don't want no parts of that one.
No, not even.
I guess these are going back to some tight ends that are available. Jonnu Smith, no. Hunter Henry, no. Jawan Johnson, no. Bellinger, no. Mayor, hey, but no.
I think you gotta go with Njoku.
So you gotta go with Njoku and hope for a good one. He's so hit or miss.
These tight ends are tough sled with these tight ends nowadays.
Yeah, it's hard out there. And if you haven't already, somebody, please hit that subscribe button.
Definitely, please do.
On Catherine, she's saying Dallas. Okay.
That's gonna be too much.
I don't know whether we're no. She's a Dallas fan and she doesn't have Curtis here with her to put up the blanket. I'm not going. Hey, did we see what that Dallas defense looked like against Brock Purdy and the 49ers?
Yeah, but they looked good last week. But I'm not trusting them against Philly. No, I ain't doing it. I trust that Atlanta defense first.
the Dallas beats up on the bad teams. They don't do that with the good teams. And so, quite frankly, if Brock Purdy can put up numbers against Dallas, Jalen Hurts is going to put work.
Well, Jalen Hurts is going to do Jalen Hurts anyway.
He's going to do Jalen Hurts things. And A.J. Brown, that streak will continue.
Oh, my God. You see that catch?
Unbelievable.
Oh, my God. That catch was crazy.
Unbelievable.
Ooh, that catch was crazy.
Hans says he started off 1-3 at half PPR 10-man league. Now he's in third place. That's good stuff. With Herbert, Tyreek, Keenan Allen has been doing a good job of staying healthy, so I'm happy with him. Zeke Flowers, Bijan, Gibbs. Yeah, this is a nice team. Mixon and Laporta. Hey, keep up the good work and let us know. We want all of our R and J people to win some championships this year, including the R and the J. We need some championships ourselves.
We got to bring some home this year.
Bring them home for the family. I don't know if this is one we're supposed to pick between. This was going back to the defenses that are available.
Yeah, that's what's
New England, Indianapolis, Tennessee, and the Chargers.
New England, and Indiana, Indianapolis, Tennessee, and the Chargers. Woo! New England play. What they got this week? I just seen who they.
New England, they're playing against the Commanders.
I don't know about that one. Sam Alvin looking good.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Do I want to go outside the box?
Who does?
And it's not the Chargers for me.
No. They played. That's gonna be that's gonna be too good of a game. I don't really like.
I'm trying to look at the schedule.
Well, Tennessee play tomorrow night.
Well, I say, that's
they play Pittsburgh. That could be. It could be
to me because that offense is. I'm trying to decide. I don't think I go New England.
No, I'll stay away from that one.
I'm trying to decide whether I want to say I go Tennessee, just because of the inability of Steelers to do anything on offense. But I'm actually thinking maybe outside Colts. Do I want to gamble on that against the Panthers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be the Colts, or if he had wanted to choose between the two, the Colts or Atlanta, I would definitely, yeah.
Yeah. Who was the original one we were going? Atlanta or Dallas. Do I like Atlanta? Was the choice from before? Do I like Atlanta more than Tennessee or Indianapolis?
Yeah. Man, I'm gonna stick with Atlanta just because of the quarterback, the rookie quarterback they playing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick with Atlanta.
I'm gonna be with you.
Yeah.
All right, Super C and B challengers, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
Who are you going with? So wrong on Will Levis. Last week we talked about no, I would not start him at all. I was watching that game, and I was so mad at myself that I didn't play DeAndre Hopkins last week.
Me too. I had him on the bench.
I set him on the bench because I was like, Will Levis, no way is that going to work out. And for some reason, they were contemplating whether they were going to put Will Levis in again. I was like, have y'all seen Ryan Tannehill? It's like,
Tannehill should be on the bench for the rest of the year.
He shouldn't be on the team. Much like the Raiders did with Derek Carr last year, and just asked him not to show up. They should say Ryan Tannehill, stay home.
Yeah, pretty much.
But who are you going with this week? Levis
I'm going
for a
Sam
repeat
Howell.
performance or Sam Howell?
I'm going Sam Howell because I feel like Washington is always down. Mm-hmm. They're always losing, so they're always throwing.
They are.
So I think Sam Howell would give you more passing yards, more completions, maybe more touchdowns than Levis. I'm not discounting Levis, not by a long shot.
I was impressed.
I'm going Sam Howell, and I will feel comfortable starting Sam Howell.
As much as I bash the Steelers' offense, their defense is legit. the fact that they have a winning record with that offense lets you know that defense is legit. And so I'm with you. I'm gonna go Sam Howell, and I'm gonna avoid Levis. Hey, we were wrong last week when we said avoid him. I'm hoping the Steelers make us right. Plus, it's that Thursday night game.
Yeah, Thursday night games can be funky sometimes.
It can be real funky.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Jimmy G? He's gone. That's my only thought.
Yeah.
Well, he's there, but he's sitting on the bench where he belongs. They should have never. Yo, I'm so happy, and I don't usually wish bad on players because, they're people like everyone else. But I so did not want the Jimmy G thing to work out just because I didn't like the way the Derek Carr situation went. And I was like, I can understand wanting to move on from Derek Carr, but you move on from Derek Carr, and your answer is Jimmy G.
But I told you.
So glad he's gone.
I told you. You know what time it is. Justin's right. I don't like Jimmy, but I've been telling people for years Jimmy's been absolute trash.
He's a product of the system.
Yep.
That is now benefiting Brock Purdy. And so, and we said at the beginning, the Raiders don't have the defense.
Or the running game.
Last year they had the running game. Last year they had it. They didn't have it this year. They haven't been able to find it again. So
put it like this. You're not going to find a Debo there. You're not going to find a Brandon.
They don't have the Raiders don't have nearly for as much as I talk bad about them sometimes, the 49ers have one of the best rosters in the NFL. Top 3 easily. And the Raiders might be at the bottom 3.
Definitely at the bottom.
So Zach is better, and the Jets are back. Here's the crazy part: a lot of people are talking about Aaron Rodgers being ready to play at the end of the year.
I've been asked that question.
Yeah,
and they asked me, "Would you?" Justin, I want to know your opinion on this. If Zach Wilson gets them to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a lot of people saying it's the defense, and the defense gets a little bit more, credit for that. But
as they should.
They should. But if Zach Wilson is the quarterback leading them to the playoffs, however he does it, do you go to Aaron Rodgers if he's healthy or he comes back from this injury? I say yes.
Yeah.
I say yes. Because, first of all, we're just going to talk about financially. You're paying him $50 million. So that is out of the window. You have to play him. You have to play him no matter what. Now, that's not taking anything from Zach Wilson. We're just saying from a financial standpoint.
Well, I'm saying from a talent standpoint.
I mean, obviously, we know that from a talent standpoint, but I'm talking about from a financial standpoint. Yeah. You're saying, no, don't even worry about it. You can go back to the bench. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for filling in.
Yes.
But I'll follow up on that, saying there's no way in my mind Aaron Rodgers is healthy enough to play by the playoffs. People are making a big deal of, wow, look, he's throwing and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, he's throwing in place.
He's standing still and throwing the ball.
He's throwing in one place.
Call me back when he's making a real strong cuts on that Achilles, and he's trying to avoid contact, like what led him. And don't the Jets still play on that terrible field that they played? So that there's no possible way. If the Jets are fortunate enough to make the playoffs, I stay with them because I just don't believe Aaron Rodgers is healthy. But if by some miracle Aaron Rodgers is fully healthy, you play him over Zach Wilson.
Yeah, you got to play him, definitely.
But that, to me, that's not even a possibility. But Han said he almost dropped Jacoby Myers instead of Jalen Warren. I think you made the right choice. The Jacoby Myers train, I don't think it's over.
No.
But I'm hoping there's a correction where Devontae Adams is the alpha wide receiver like he's supposed to be. I don't understand in heaven's name how Jacoby Myers, except for, like you said before, the fact that Jimmy G's really bad and he won't be able to complete we saw him unable to complete the passes to Devontae Adams, especially on those deep routes, and maybe that's why Jacoby Myers has been effective. But I don't think it's over for him. But I am hoping that there's more Hunter Renfrow thrown in to this mix. They look like they tried to get him involved the last game, but even on that, I'm just hoping for better quarterback play overall.
Aiden O'Connor is probably gonna throw the ball downfield more. And one thing what people don't realize is they really like Aiden O'Connor a whole lot.
Devontae Adams really likes Aiden O'Connor.
Devontae Adams really likes him. So I think Devontae probably walking in the building like, this is what I'm talking about.
And he looks like Derek Carr. Yeah. So maybe, I'm just saying Devontae Adams can't really tell the difference yet. They both have the number 4. So and we'll see what happens with it. I'm just
saying, I think Devontae is going to definitely benefit from this. That's why, and Jacoby Myers will too, because from what I was reading, they were saying that both of those guys should benefit from a quarterback change.
Because Jimmy G's terrible.
But the problem is Jimmy G went there knowing, even in the preseason when Aiden O'Connor was playing well, we knew it was going to be a situation to where they was going to bring in somebody to take his job. He just don't know how long he was going to have a job. Yeah. It just was a short season, which at the end of the day, we all seen it coming.
Yeah, I
told you. So
hey, in the league that I picked up, Jimmy Garoppolo out of desperation. This was our 2 quarterback league. You saw I quickly went and got Aiden O'Connell because there's just no way I'm going to trust my fantasy football team.
No, not with Jimmy. No.
Welcome TV2 League. TV2 League. 2v2. 2 versus 2. Welcome to the show. We got Bijan and Kincaid for Etienne. Ooh. Yeah, I had Darren Waller with best free agent option, Jake Ferguson. Do you do the trade? Jake Ferguson, I like. I actually have Jake Ferguson in a few leagues.
I picked up Jake Ferguson too.
Travis Etienne has been on a tear.
Maybe the coach might be right.
He said he was going to be 1,600 yards.
Yeah, he might be right. So,
before the season, I would in a heartbeat say yes to this trade. The way Travis Etienne has been playing lately,
I'm gonna say no. I have this thing, man. Like, you don't trade. Like certain people, I get it. You get anxious and you want to sell high into this guy because he might flame out at some point. But you don't. At some point, you just hold on to him, and if he flames out with you. So at some point, you got to hold on to him. He'll get you the wins, but if he don't play well once or twice, cool. I get it.
Yeah.
You got to hold on to your guys. Like, I don't believe in making trades every week. I just think that's weird, man. You make a trade here.
I think sometimes you have a tendency to over-tinker when you keep.
Yeah. You tinker small spots. Like, you should have a core guys that should never leave your lineup, and then there's guys you can kind of tinker with and replace here and there, but not your core guys. Etienne is a core guy.
Right now, he's just playing too well for me. I don't.
Yeah, you don't.
I can't. Yeah, I hear you. And people do love to trade high, but he's just playing too well. I'm not taking the ball out of his hands. It's a tough one. Don't look. That is a good deal. And I see, especially you hear Darren Waller. Maybe you try to do something to get a tight end better, but quite frankly, I like Jake Ferguson. Jake Ferguson and Etienne to me might actually be better than Bijan and Kincaid.
I told you Bijan is going to get worn out, man, at some point. And I think I don't make that trade. I think Etienne right now at this point is better than Bijan.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping.
Yeah, that's factual just based off what they've been able to do. I don't know Bijan missed that. Well, he didn't miss the game, but he basically missed the game.
Yeah.
But still, Etienne, I think, has been the better guy. And on touchdowns alone, right?
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah. So it's a good trade offer, but I reject it, and I pick up Jake Ferguson immediately. Since for me, Jake Ferguson shouldn't even be really available on waivers.
He's a tight end.
He's one of the tight. He's not going to give you like every week numbers, but as far as the tight ends have been, I go with Ferguson. He's steady, and Etienne, like we said, is just too hot. Yeah. We did mention Chuba Herbert earlier. He's okay. I think he's the okayest running back in the league.
Running backs are scarce. Yeah, honestly. So if you can find one that's gonna get you decent numbers, you hold on to them. So I mean, I got running backs that I'm holding on to. They ain't been performing like super great, but they give you 12 points, 15 points. So because that's all you're getting from your tier 2 running backs nowadays anyway. So it don't matter. So.
I mean, the truth is with Chuba, it all depends on Miles Sanders, right?
Yeah, but they said Miles Sanders. They pretty much benched Miles Sanders.
They did. So Chuba has the job, but for me, he's just, I don't think he's a reliable. And I'm holding some stuff against Chuba from a couple of years ago when he had the opportunity when CMC went down.
Yeah,
I think that was his rookie year,
and he didn't do nothing.
But he did absolutely nothing. And even from what we've seen this year, it's not like I don't like. And I think I said this before. Other than Adam Thielen, I don't like the Panthers. I mean, there's nothing about that team that excites me. Chuba's gonna have some good games, but even his best game, he hasn't hit 100 yards all year. And no, I'm gonna pass. But does he have the backfield locked down for the most part? I
would say maybe. I mean, he's averaging a little bit more yards right now than the other running back. So yes, I would say maybe. But I mean,
but is it a backfield like? Hey, Najee has the Steelers' backfield locked down. Yeah. Am I excited about it? Not even a little bit. So.
He averaged 3 yards.
You asked me would I rather have Najee or Chuba. I guess I'd say Najee, but I don't want
slightly.
Slightly.
Not by much though.
They're guys that just aren't going to get you excited. You kind of just if you have them, you're stuck with them, and that's kind of how I feel about Najee. That's how I feel about Chuba. You got him, you're stuck with him. You roll with him, but I'm not going to say yay. Yeah. There's no yays.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He said he dropped Rashawn to pick up Hubbard. I don't think that's a mistake, only because that Deontay Foreman, you asked me who actually was trying to make a trade to get Deontay Foreman. People won't feeling me. People won't feeling me. And that backfield is crowded with the Bears, and you just said it. It looks like a mess. So if I got to pick between Hubbard and mostly anyone, I might go Foreman above Chuba, but not by a lot. Not by a lot,
but just a little bit. But I think again, running backs are so once
tough.
You get past the CMCs and a couple guys, it's messed up. So you got to hold on, even if they're giving you 10 points. 10 to 12 points.
If you get 12 points from a running back,
you better hold
excited,
on to him.
Right? Yeah. And that used to not be a lot, but
it's a lot for running backs
for now.
Yeah. So you hold on to them as much as you can.
The good part about it for fantasy purposes is you're not alone, and so fantasy football is just a numbers game. And so if you got a guy like you said that's getting you 12. You don't have to have CMC. You just have to have a running back that keeps you on pace with whoever your competition is for that week. And so playing a numbers game, I take it. He's also holding on. I still holding on Khalil Herbert, hoping he comes back and hoping for the best. But again, it's just hard to get excited.
Job,
yep.
I think he lost that job. Yeah. Sorry. I mean.
It's not like he had a strong lock on it, even when he was healthy.
Sure didn't.
I mean, what really held them up, because Deontay Foreman started the year injured, and so it was him and Rashawn, and people were saying that Rashawn was going to take that job, and that never happened. But then Deontay Foreman came back, and he's been doing very well, especially the last 2 weeks. So, yeah. Let's see. Do I want to jump in on this conversation? I'll talk about Chuba. Just not convinced after what I read. He's what it is. The Panthers is just hard to get excited about. Welcome Aaron to the show.
Man.
Trade Laporta, Pollard, Cup for Kamara and Waddle. He has Kelsey and good running backs and wide receivers.
Okay. Wait.
Is this a tight end premium league? Would be my first question.
That's my question.
Right. Because I might want to stay where I'm at.
And give me your if you say you got good running backs and wide receivers, Kinkia, let me know what they are. Now,
what's your definition of good? Right.
Yeah, I need to know what your definition of good. Because if you got good wide receivers, obviously, good running backs.
Well, one, if you have good running backs and wide receivers, do you need Kamara and Waddle?
Ooh.
How good are they?
He said very good.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough, man. I mean, because Kamara's playing well. Waddle had a monster game last week.
And he should have. Well, you're not going to get a trade done probably in enough time to start Waddle this week, but I would expect he would also have a good one.
Well, he got brief. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Holy
good
crap.
Grief.
I know. I'm looking at this right now.
Can I join your league? I mean, because this is crazy. Breece Hall, Eckler, and Jacobs. Okay. All right. I mean, I got Eckler and Breece Hall in one league too, and I got Jerome Ford. So I get it. But you gonna add Kamari to that? How you gonna play all of them?
I know, right? It's like, how many flex spots do you have?
Like, how you gonna play all of them?
Or maybe the strategy is keeping them off other people's rosters. So,
but still, I mean,
right.
I mean, because with Pollard, Kamara is playing better than Pollard, obviously. Yeah. But Cooper Kupp is playing better than Waddle.
Mm-hmm.
And Laporta is just in the trade. I don't know, man. This is a tough one. You got a good roster. Honestly, I would tend to dig. Bro, like, what is going on?
Diggs, Adams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. What is your record in this league would be my first question to you, because I hope you're undefeated.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the 10-man league. Yeah, I figure it definitely wasn't a 12-man league. Yeah, but 10, that's. But the problem comes in with a 10-man league is everyone has really good teams.
Yeah, so I would try.
And so I might make this, like I said, first going back again. If it's a tight end premium league, I might not do it because I put Laporta and Travis Kelce in on a weekly basis in that case. If it's not, despite the fact that your roster is so heavily stacked, I might lean towards adding. I love the addition of Kamara. I'm just trying to think. If you only start 2 running backs in this league, then my guess is you're definitely starting Breece Hall and Austin Eckler. Josh Jacobs would be the guy on my bench.
And then you starting Diggs.
And then it's like, man, you have so many good choices to go with for your flex. I'm gonna say he's 5-3. Cup, so yeah. The whole doggone Rams sold last week.
Yeah, I'm saying. Oh gosh,
I might do it. Only Kamara, because I love Kamara. And
Kamara's playing better than Pollard. I mean, you have
Kamara's playing. If it's a situation where I'm only starting one tight end, it's obviously Kelsey.
Kelsey, yeah.
And so Laporta's kind of maybe going to waste, except for on a bye week. If I say do it. Yeah, I lean on the side of the Kamara Waddle combination.
Yeah,
barely.
I say do it.
Yeah,
I mean, because you're getting Waddle back, you're getting Kamara back, and you putting them with Diggs, Adams, Amon St. Brown. Yeah,
but let us know what your other tight end option will be. Whether you have someone already on your roster or you have to pick somebody up in free agency. But I'm probably leaning towards doing it.
He said I'm pretty scared of Pollard.
Yeah, and that's kind of why I lean towards it, because you can pick up I had very high hopes for Pollard this year, and
yeah,
it ain't working out as much as I wanted to. He's been serviceable, like we said, with the poor condition of running backs, but I think I'd do it just to add Kamara.
Yeah. If you can get Kamara, if they take this trade, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would go ahead and smash the
I don't know if I do it in a heartbeat because I'm like
I would,
but yeah, I think I eventually go yes.
I mean, you're losing Cup, but
you could pick up Trey McBride. So
yeah,
we'll see.
McBride
that should be interesting. That should be interesting with the switch at quarterback happening down there. That could work out.
I think McBride, he played well last week.
I'm surprised that they were going with Zach Ertz as much as they did. I thought this was going to be McBride's year. You might remember I had Trey McBride from my dynasty team last year, and I had to let him go to clear some space, and I didn't have a problem with it because like, why are they? Zach Ertz has to be at least like 48, 57, something old. Like that.
Come on,
roughly
45.
Yeah, so
I'm just joking.
So yeah,
God.
Yeah, I like McBride.
I'll take the trade.
I take
if
that
I was
trade.
you, I'm doing a trade.
Yeah, I do it.
Get Waddle, Kamara back. So yeah, I would do it.
Yeah.
For what the pieces you got, definitely, I'm doing it.
Yeah, appreciate the question. Yeah, I do
subscribe, please.
Hey, hit subscribe, everybody, if you haven't done so. Oh, did I mention we're celebrating because the Raiders are
still celebrating?
I'm celebrating the rest of the season. Like I said,
okay.
This is the Super Bowl for the Raiders. We don't have to deal with Josh McDaniels anymore, ever again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. Thank you. That's good. Okay.
Right. We got anything else we need to?
Nah. I mean,
we need to cover.
We didn't go over the top players, but that's.
Will Levis. Levis is the top player from last week.
We don't got to.
Yo, hey, you're welcome, Aaron. Hey, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
We say it all the time, and this goes for everybody out there. You guys make the show what it is. It's all about having these kinds of discussions. And so there is no R&J if you guys don't tune in. It's just us talking on the phone like we've always done. So it's good to have you guys here, everybody watching. So we appreciate you. If you have other questions on your fantasy lineups, hit us up on our social media. Where if I can find it, I'm trying to point to it.
It's right up top.
Yeah,
it's up top.
My fingers can't now go directly to it. But hit us up with any questions you have. Let us know in the comments. And hey, we'll be back here again next week doing the same. Yeah, we will be back next week. Doing the same. I have a trip coming up, and I just had to remember when it was. So we'll be back here next week. Let us know how things go with you. Good luck to everybody. Hey, definitely. Angelo, coming in. Good Angelo. To have you with us. I didn't say your offensive coordinators the whole show.
You needed to.
But we got celebrating down here. I got somebody fired. I could have done the same for y'all if y'all wanted me to.
Yeah, you can't. You got
to
stop.
I get folks fired anytime I try.
You got to stop, man.
Hey, it's a celebration. Do something.
Oh, my gosh. You stupid. Hey, look. As I ain't said it in a while, but I'm going to say it tonight. We here. We ain't going nowhere. Appreciate y'all. Hey, definitely like, subscribe. Hey, tell your friend, tell somebody else, tell your friend. Hey,
tell your friend to tell their friend.
Definitely.
All right. Y'all have a great one. Peace out.